Today I'm going to demonstrate how to use the central question diagram critical reading graphic organizer to read an article about Tesla's self-driving cars. The central question diagram works great for articles that present opinions or individual opinions about a topic or an issue. The reason it's called a central question diagram is when you're filling in the graphic organizer, you always start with the central question box first. So in the case of the topic we'll be studying this week, our central question is, should self-driving cars exist? This has been a hot issue with Tesla over the past year or year and a half, as it's an endeavor that they have put themselves behind and started working on. So should self-driving cars exist is our central question, and that's where we're going to start. Once I have my central question entered, I will follow the arrows to the next two boxes. You can start with either the positive or the negatives, but the top portion of the central question diagram you fill out before you start reading. So this first section is for your opinion. You'll notice the boxes are a little bit smaller. I created those boxes smaller just in case you're saying you don't know a lot about this topic. Our hope is that after we read, we'll have more information to fill into those boxes. So let's start with the positive side. I might say a positive of self-driving cars is I think it would make long distance travel a lot easier. I'm thinking summer road trips, family vacations would be so much easier if the car would just drive itself. A negative, I think, might be with depending on my computer. I think it's hard to program a computer to react to every single situation that might come up. I think there are some variables there that the computer may not be able to judge or react to. Now, let's add one more positive. If someone's been drinking and they're going to drive anyway, perhaps if the car could drive for them, there would be less accidents in those situations. So I don't know a lot about this issue, so that's going to do it for before I read my positives and my negatives. My next step at this point is to, of course, read the article. So looking at the first paragraph, he seems to initially start off very negative here. He says, or at least that's what advertisers have gotten us to believe. So he's kind of attacking car advertisers and car companies here. He thinks that in some way they have tricked us. So we're already starting, I think he's going to fall into that negative or con side, our author here. He's mentioning human casualties here in the car industry. He's not talking about self-driving cars specifically, but he's talking about how automobiles became central to the American way of life and the casualties that came up along the way. So I think I'm going to summarize that and put that in my central question diagram. Like I said, I think he's falling on the negative side. And to summarize what he said, I'm going to say the author feels that the rise of the car or automobile over the years, or I could say throughout history, has caused a large number of deaths. Now I am reading an article from the internet, so there are no page numbers. So I'm going to give a paragraph number along with the author's last name. So his last name is Rushkoff, and I'm pulling from paragraph 2. That way, if I get to discussion and I want to bring it up and point everybody in the right direction, I can do that. Now, to finish the diagram, I would keep reading, He may not have any positives in his article. I don't know that it's heading in a very positive direction. So I might have a very negative box here on the right that is full. When I'm done reading the article, I want to try to come to a conclusion. Now, if I feel that this article is very biased and I can't come to a conclusion, I want to see that positive side, I can seek out other resources and other articles. But what this graphic organizer and this critical reading tactic does is it helps me look for evidence, supported reasons. Yes, I have my opinions up here, but the graphic organizer helps me look at what the author is saying and look for that evidence and that support. So if I get to the end of this article and I feel it's really negative, I might seek out other information or another article to find that positive side before I personally come to my own conclusion and answer the question.